Hi, I'm Reuben with Structure Tech Home Inspections, and today I'm going to walk you through the steps of replacing a Powervent water heater. So I already made a video about replacing a water heater start to finish. That was probably about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 years ago. And it was at my dad's house and we were doing a natural draft water heater. But now my water heater needs replacement. I just replaced this 4.5 years ago and it's already leaking again. Here, let me grab the camera. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's my water heater and we look at the ground. Look at that. It's leaking. I've had a air mover going to just kind of direct the water where I want it to go down to the floor drain. But yeah, it's sure leaking at the bottom. Look at that, going right to the floor drain. So I need to replace it again. Little frustrated, not gonna lie. Not what I wanted to do today. And it's been leaking for a couple of days. It's not like you got to replace it the second it starts leaking. Take your time, just make sure that the leak isn't causing damage. But gonna take you through this start to finish. So I'm gonna keep stopping my camera to make sure that I got the right camera angle on all this. I'd say the first thing we're gonna do is shut off the power, shut off the water. So here, if we follow the water piping, this one coming in here, that's the cold water, and I'm gonna shut off the cold water inlet. Just give that a crank, and now the cold water is off, and I'm gonna start going to a bunch of other faucets and opening them up so that we can allow the hot water to drain out of this thing. And start draining it. Draining a water heater takes a long time. So for shutting off the power, I unplugged it. Super easy on a Powervent water heater. So now I got myself a short little length of garden hose. I got this cute little guy. It's not like it needs to be short, but if you got it, use it. I'm gonna take that and I'm going to connect that to the drain valve. And I'll take the other end of this and kind of point it at the floor drain. Come on. Maybe I'll just shove it in there a little. And now I open this guy up. And my hose is twisting, of course. And now the water's coming out. Let's take a look at that. And while that's draining, I will disconnect all of the different components for the water heater. So once it's done draining, I'll be ready to just get it out of here, run to the store, and get a new one. It always takes way longer to drain than I want it to take. So today I'm actually timing it. I'll let you know in a little bit how long it takes. First, I think I'm gonna start by turning the gas off, and then we'll disconnect that and we'll disconnect all the rest of the stuff. So to figure out where that is, I'm gonna take my gas line here. There is no shutoff valve at the water heater, so I'm just gonna follow this back in my utility room. I come all the way back to here and look at that. Someone's got it nicely labeled. It says water heater shutoff. So I will give this a quarter turn, and now the gas is off. With the gas off, I will disconnect the gas piping. I could put a wrench on here and then a second one on this flare nut to disconnect it, but I seem to remember from experience that that was not necessary. This nut was not all that tight, so I'm just gonna try one. Yep, that's all it took. Just a little crank. I swear I did not stage that ahead of time. That's exactly, this is real time. Okay, gas piping is now disconnected, and I'm gonna wanna save this whole assembly here. This is the sediment trap. The new water heater is not gonna come with all of that, so I'm gonna save it. I've got my pipe wrench here. This is what you need for these fittings. And I could just try swinging this and unscrewing the whole thing, but I know that this leg is gonna hit the water heater. So I'm gonna need to unscrew this leg and then I can unscrew that whole assembly. And okay, that's tightened, all right. Got Gotta think through this a little. It's embarrassing. That's tighten. All right, sorry. You put a camera on me and I can't think. I can smell gas. That's normal. There's a bunch of gas in these pipes. So if you shut the gas off, you smell a little bit of it, don't panic. You're gonna smell a little. If it's overpowering, that's not right. That's too much. All right, I'll think through this one. That's tighten. This is loosen. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna save these fittings. I will put them in a nice safe spot because I'm gonna need to put that back in the new water heater. Next, I'm going to remove the temperature and pressure relief valve discharge tube. The new water heater does not come with one of these. I want to save this one and I'm gonna install it on the new one. So I'll take my little wrench here, think through which is right and left so I don't look stupid on my video. Again. That feels good. Unscrew that, set that aside in a safe spot, and I'd say I am ready to disconnect the water. And you know what? While I got the camera there, I think there's this little strap that holds the gas piping in place. I think I'll take that off. I got my drill and put my little adapter on here. Try to get it out of the frame. I got 2 screws holding that in place. 1, 2. And I'll save the screws in that little strap, put them in a safe spot. Now I'm ready to disconnect the water. Yes, yes. All right, let's get closer. So I'll start by disconnecting the cold water inlet. I'm gonna have a rag nearby just in case too much water comes out, more than I want. I love this wrench, by the way. This is the channel lock something or another, code blue. Huge jaws on this one. And should fit on here. And this is a dielectric union, which I installed last time, which makes it really easy to disconnect. And there, it's disconnected. We'll do the same on the other side. Here's the hot side, water coming out. Sorry if I'm blocking the angle as I'm doing this. I don't have much of a choice. Got some tight working conditions here. Okay, there we go. So now the water lines are disconnected, and now it's time to disconnect the vent. To disconnect the vent, I'm going to need to loosen this hose clamp. It has a 5/16 inch, you need a 5/16 inch nut driver, or you can use a slotted screwdriver if you want, but nut driver is the tool of choice if you ask me. So loosen that up. There we go. And at this point, I should be able to just pull this vent right out of here. Yep, there we go. And that was the last piece. At this point, my water heater is completely uninstalled. The only thing I'm waiting for now is for this water to finish draining. So, you know, actually, while we're doing that, oh, this lighting is terrible. Sorry. While I'm waiting for that to finish, there's a couple of other fittings at the top of the water heater here that I want to save because I'm going to use those on the next one. So I'll kind of roll this out of the way. I'll move it a little bit and I'm going to take those fittings off while we're waiting. Not going to lie, it has taken me more time to adjust my camera angles and set up some lighting than it has for me to do all the work for replacing this water heater. But okay, that's all disconnected, and I should be able to just kind of roll it. It'll be a little easier when there's no water in there. I'm guessing the tank is still probably about half full, but this is fine. Just get it out of the way of some of that stuff. Make sure my hose doesn't go over there as I'm still trying to drain it. Okay. Now it's out of the way a little bit. I'm going to take this cord. Take the power cord, wrap that up, get it out of the way. And I'll just turn this a little. So it's this fitting right here. I want to save this one and the one on the other side because the new water heater is not going to come with those. So I'll try to get a pipe wrench on here. Looks like I should be able to. I'm gonna save this, and I'll do the same on the other side. Anything, but it makes me feel good. There. And I don't hear the water heater draining anymore. So here's what you get with a leaking tank as I tip it. Look at that. There's water coming all out of the tank itself. Not out of the drain valve, but I mean the tank. That thing is just leaking. I should get it closer to the floor drain. I'm gonna have a mess. That's why I got my floor squeegee here. I don't want this water going all over. Oh gosh. Trying to contain some of that. Get this a little closer. You know what? We're done with this. I'm just gonna disconnect that hose, get it out of the way. Ew. That was in the bottom of the tank. You see all that coming out of there? Yeah. That is one failed tank. So now if you got two people, it's a piece of cake to just lift this thing up. Each of you take an end, you can carry it right out of the house. If it's one person, you do have the option of kind of wheeling it and dragging it and turning it on the ground. You're gonna probably get water all over the place and it's a hassle, but it can be done. If you have a two-wheel cart or a dolly, whatever you want to call this, that's the easiest way. Work smarter, not harder. Throw it on here, and I'll wheel it up to my garage and throw it in the truck. I can hear that water sloshing around, and I can see it draining out of there. Not fast. Gonna drip a little water as I go. Here we go. Okay, so just got back from Home Depot, brought the old water heater in there. I was expecting to get what I originally paid for it, which was about 900 bucks. I was expecting to get that in-store credit, and then I was gonna have to pay the difference. The new ones are like 1,400. I was a little miffed at the difference in price, but the cashier rang up my return with the receipt, and he gave me $12.59 for it. I said, I don't think that's right, my friend. I think you're supposed to give me what I paid for it. And he said, don't argue. Okay, I said, okay, I won't argue. So this one didn't cost me a ton more. Pro tip is don't bring the box inside your house. What you want to do is take it out of your vehicle and get it all cut open right here, leave all the cardboard there, and just bring the water heater inside. And the way to open this is on the dotted line, right there. Your box is a little messed up. That's okay. I looked at it carefully, made sure it wasn't damaged. So we'll slice that, and then pop that off. Looks like there's nothing I need inside there. Take that off. Looks like we have a new blower assembly, which I will need to install. We've got a vent terminal, which I will not need. My old one will be just fine. We've got a little cardboard cover for the controls. And at that point, oh, get this out of the way. Way to throw it on my little hand truck, or two-wheel cart, or dolly. It's dented! What do I do? Do I keep it? I don't want to go back. That's what I get for getting a messed up box. All right, I'm keeping it. It's not gonna matter. I say that now. All right, we'll throw this on there and I'll bring it down to the basement. Okay, so now before I go too far with this and install the blower assembly, I'm going to replace the anode rod with a powered electric anode rod. I made a video showing how to do that probably 6 months ago. My water heater still failed despite the fact that I threw one of these in there. Part of the reason is because the old anode rod that I removed was 100% depleted. I don't know how long it took to deplete. It was probably gone a long time before I replaced it, but at any rate, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the old anode rod, put it in a powered one immediately. I'm hoping this is gonna give me a lot more life. So I'm gonna take my 1 1/16 inch 6-pointed impact socket adapter, and I'm going to use it in my Milwaukee impact wrench. I'm going to put it right on the anode rod. Try to get that in there here. There we go. Give it a rip. Man, that's loud. I should have used ear protection. Get that little thing off there. And there is a brand spanking new anode rod. Oh, I'm hitting the ceiling. All right. I should have thought of that. There we go. That's what it looks like when they're brand new. I'm gonna save that just for fun. I don't know what I'll do with it. Move this over a little, and I'll put a little tape on my powered anode rod. Much easier without that blower fan assembly in place. That feels good. And now it's time to install the blower fan assembly. I've got that right here. And there is, oh gosh, this is a little out of place. There is a power cord inside here. Or there's a connector. This thing needs to plug into this thing. There's really no way to get it wrong. So we'll hook that up. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. We got it plugged in. And then there are a couple of pins which are going to line up with some holes. Looks like it has to go like this. Boom. Perfect. Just like that. That's all lined up. There's no way to get this wrong. And they gave me a little bag of screws. Self-tapping sheet metal screws with a Phillips head. And those just go right in to hold the blower assembly in place. Oops. Get that right. There we go. And we've got a ground wire here. Yeah, you can. That's in the picture. I would just use one of these to ground it if it reached, but it doesn't, so I won't. And that reminds me, you can't see it now, but the powered anode rod also comes with some wires, and one of these wires has to be grounded. So I think we're going to use the same ground wire. Let's see. We're going to take these two ring terminals and we'll put those together. We'll just put a screw right in the front here. That's how you get a hole in your finger. Okay. That's what this is for. I should be using it. Try that again. There we go. Okay. 2 for 1 there. Again, the section one isn't normally needed on an install. Was that in the camera? I hope it was. Yeah, it was. Okay. All right. We got the blower assembly set up. Now we'll start connecting everything. Oh, and by the way, earlier I had removed these nipples. I forgot that water heaters come with those. So I'm just going to reuse my old ones. Well, I'm going to leave them on there. And I will unscrew this. Put a little tape on each one of those. And put my connectors on there. Oh, and you know what? You're thinking it. I should have taped this before I put the blower assembly in place. Would have made it a lot easier. Oh well. Got to get this fitting off of the nipple. This is going to be kind of a bear, I think. I might have to use my bench vise, but we'll see. We'll try to get a couple of pipe wrenches on here. Oh boy. Got it. And now got these cleaned up. I'm going to take these, put one on the hot side, one on the cold side. Get them hand tightened as much as I can. Tighten them the rest of the way with my wrench. And again, I should have done this before I had the blower fan on there. Wasn't thinking. I've installed a lot of natural draft water heaters. This is my second Powervent. Maybe by the third, I'll remember this little detail. This is the beauty of replacing one water heater with another one that's the same size, is that it all just lines up. That lines up there. You know what? I'm going to move the camera so you can see us a little better. Move the camera so you can see it a little better. There's one. I'm going to just get that started so it kind of stays there. Those are nice and tight. Okay, got the water hooked up, and now it's time to hook up the vent. And everything just lines up perfectly. Gonna get this in there. Being careful not to mash down any edges. Slide the vent into place. We'll get the hose clamp positioned properly. I'll take my 5/16 inch nut driver. That looks good. Secure. And let's see, I'll wait to plug it in. I guess I don't have much left. I'm just about done. I got to hook up the gas line and the temperature and pressure relief valve discharge tube. So when I'm hooking up gas lines, we're not going to use that Teflon tape that I used before for the water fittings. In this case, I like to use Teflon paste. I could have used Teflon paste for the water fittings too, but I just find it to be kind of messy. So, oh wait, you know what? Let's get this one first. So we'll just goop it up a little here, cover all the threads to make sure we don't have any gas leaks, but don't go nuts because I don't want to have a big old mess. I'll put that right in here. I get it about as tight as I can with my hand, and then that's good. I mean, gosh, I'm trying to decide if I want to give it another turn with a wrench. I'm probably going to get it halfway around and then I'm going to regret it. We'll see. No, I'm not going to get it around another turn. Tight enough. I would get halfway around and it'd be stuck. So we'll goop up this, and this is the sediment trap that goes on the gas line. Anytime you've got a gas appliance, the Minnesota Fuel Gas Code says you need a 3-inch sediment trap right before the appliance that it's serving. And the gas has to change direction. That's exactly what we got here. Get that nice and snug. Technically, I should have another pipe on the other side to hold it, but I don't. That is snug enough, it ain't gonna leak. And then finally, we'll take the soft copper tubing, which is not legal in all parts of the country, but it is here in Minnesota. And you'll notice there's no paste, there's no tape, no nothing on this fitting. There should not be. You don't need it. When you see it there, it means you got a rookie installation. And I'll just get this Nice and snug. I hope I'm not blocking it too much here. That is snug. Next, I'm going to turn the gas on, and I'm going to get a gas sniffer, and I'm going to check for leaks. Okay, gas is on. I've got my little pocket gas detector. This one is the Top Test PT205. Just turn that on. It takes 30 seconds to warm up. If I didn't have one of these devices, I could just use a soap bubble solution. There are gas leak detection solutions you can buy at the store, and then you could also just use soap bubble solution, the same stuff you get in the toy department for kids to blow bubbles. That actually works really well, and I would just goop it up over all of these fittings and make sure that I don't see any bubbles coming out. But I have one of these, so this is what I'm using. And I'm going to hold this around all of the fittings, make sure there's nothing leaking, and there's nothing leaking. That all looks good. We'll shut that off. And okay, I got my temperature and pressure relief valve discharge tube. Remember, this is the tube that I saved from my last water heater. And in most parts of the country, this is supposed to come down to within 6 inches of the floor. Here in Minnesota, our plumbing code requires it to terminate within 18 inches of the floor. We're a little more lax. I'd say mine probably terminates about a foot above the floor. And then I've also got the other end of the power cord for my powered anode rod. I'll plug that in. And then I'll also take these pieces of insulation, pipe insulation that I had removed, and I'll put those back in place. Got one there, got another one on the other side. That all looks nice. And I think I'm ready to give it a rip. I'll go ahead and fill the tank. Tank is filling now. I still have the faucets open that I had opened before because as all the water is coming in here, air is leaving out of the hot water side, and the faucets are going to start sputtering in those locations pretty soon once all the air has been purged. And a couple other little things. Let's just get a little closer here. On the vent, we've got this little cap here on this drain. The installation manual says that you don't need to mess with that. If you're in some really cold climates with some really long runs on your vent, then maybe you're going to have some excess condensation develop. I have never had a problem with my water heater developing condensation inside there, so I'm just going to leave this exactly the way that it is. And then for the vent itself, normally you'd want to make sure that it's all good, but I've got 2-inch vent coming up the top, and then it quickly transitions to 3-inch, and it's 3-inch the rest of the way. It's not that short of a run outside the house, so this is perfectly adequate. And then the last part, I'm going to pull a permit for this installation. Well, let me set that down here. I'm going to pull a permit for this installation, and the last time I pulled the permit, one of the things it says in the Minnesota fuel gas code is that when you're replacing a gas appliance like this, you're supposed to do a calculation to make sure that you have enough combustion air coming in. And I filled out my chart, I got it all set, I had it ready for the building official when he came to inspect it, and he didn't even ask for it. So I still have it all filled out. If he asks for it when he comes, I will show it to him, but I don't think they're even gonna ask for it. So now we'll just wait for this to finish filling. I hear it coming out of one of my faucets. Okay, we're done filling. I'm gonna go shut the faucets off. Be right back. And now that it's all full, we're going to carefully inspect around here for any signs of leaks. Looks good. Nothing leaking where the anode rod connects. And at this point, I'm ready to turn it on. So here's the control module. We will flip that to on, and I'm going to turn the heat up. I think I had it set to B before. And this one has electronic ignition. So let's see if we can see inside here. I don't know if this is going to work or not.
Aha, there's the pilot. Okay. Fire it up.
Almost forgot. There's a little strap that goes on here to secure the gas piping. I'm going to throw that in place real quick. Here, I'll stand on this side. There. Okay. And with that, I think we're done. So that was the installation of a gas water heater from start to finish. I think that's it. I'm Reuben Saltzman with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Thanks for watching. Take care.